The first question is, what is prohibition and what was the purpose of the 18th Amendment? Prohibition is an action of banning something. The purpose of the 18th Amendment was created to stop people from selling, making, and buying alcohol. The second question was, what problems did people see in society at the turn of the century? The problems society saw was that infants were less likely to survive. Another problem was that men wasted the money they earned on alcohol and coming home with nothing for their family. Finally, alcohol caused health issues and safety issues. The third question was, why did they think prohibition would solve these problems? They thought prohibition would solve these problems because at the time the science was in advance. So they saw that parents who didn't drink and had children had a more chance to survive. They also saw that immigrants at the time were coming in and thought they were the ones who caused the problem, and saw that no alcohol meant no immigrants. Finally, the men wouldn't be able to waste money on alcohol and finally bring home money for their families. The fourth question is, what strategies/evidence did temperance advocate use to convince people to support prohibition? They made a poster with the science that was thought to be convincing at the time, and the paper talked about how infants of parents who drank were less likely to survive, while temperate families who had children had a more chance of survival. This at the time was thought to be convincing because parents wanted their children to live and believe in mainly anything science stated, since it was supposed to be advanced at the time. Question number 5 is, do I think I find the argument convincing? And do you think people at the time found their arguments convincing as well? Why or why not? I personally didn't find their argument convincing because nowadays we have more advanced science and I really don't trust this science from back then as much. Their argument also doesn't show any of the effects it might cause afterwards because there's usually a cause and effect. I believe other people believed them because at the time that might have been what they thought was advanced science. They also must have felt the same way they did, not having enough money to bring home or wanting their children to survive. The final question is, why did the author of Document B, single out immigrants? I believe Document B singles out immigrants because there must have been a lot of immigrants coming in and crimes rising because of them coming in. They were thinking this because their jobs must have been taken over by immigrants, and because they aren't from America and aren't citizens and act strangely than how they act. They could have connected all this together and targeted immigrants